Wow, what a showman I am, right? Doing the kill switch not only with my chin, but with my elbow. You don't see a lot of guys doing that, right? What's up, dudes? Sorry about the technical snafu. I don't know what happened. When I was setting up the live stream earlier and I hit the button to create the live stream, it gave me like an error message and it said, you can't make a live stream. Okay, so I hit the button again and then it went through. So I guess when I did that, it created two live streams. So it was like, so some of you guys were on one and then some of you guys were on the other one. So I hope everybody migrated over to this one. It was weird because The reason I knew it was 2 different live streams is because I've got my OBS software open here. And that's what I'm using to do the live stream. And in the OBS, I'm not looking at the YouTube page. I'm looking at OBS. It shows me the chat. It shows me the live chat, so I can see the comments. But then I have another tab open for YouTube. When I looked at that tab, the actual YouTube one, I had the other one open, and I'm seeing different people commenting before I started. And I'm like, wait a minute, how come those comments are not on this one, and those comments are not on this one? And then I had to go to the YouTube page, and then it's like, oh, there's 2 different live streams. Like, ah! So I had to cancel one, and hopefully everybody's here. It could have something to do with the fact that today's October 1st, the official month of Halloween, and the hijinks are just getting started, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you're having a great week. What is up, everybody? I should say hi to everybody. Sorry. You know what? I'm totally off my rhythm now because that whole thing just threw me off. So I need to say hi to everybody. I'm going to go back and try and look at everybody that's in here. Gilbert, Eli, Tooth, Rod, Beachy Cheppy, Al K, The Tooth, Tyler, Highway to Hell, Retro Puffer, Greg, Jade Guitars, Guitar Bob, Tom, Jamie, 7 Pain, 6 String Stanger, Dave. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Crisis Actor. And who else we got here? Marlon. If I'm missing anybody, let's see. Michael. Hopefully I'm not missing anybody. Chris, did I get you already? Joe. Hello, Joe. Got me a mojo hand. Okay. I had to sound out that name. First time you caught the beginning of the live. Very good there. Very good there, Mr. Mojo. Let's see. I'm trying to catch up with you guys now. Greg, Vins. What's up, Vins? Steve Gunner, Mr. JW. I think I'm almost caught up. Dwight. Hey, Dwight. Fretboard Diaries. And Time Surfing Alien. I think I got everybody. So, anyway, yeah, I thought, the guitar's got a kill switch. I need to use the kill switch, but it's like, I don't know. What do I do with the kill switch other than push it with my finger? It's like, and it was like spur of the moment. I know, I'll try to push it with my chin. It didn't really work out too well. I thought maybe I'll lift my foot up and push it with my toe, but yeah, that probably would have ended in disaster. Anyway. Hope you guys are all having a good week. Did you guys watch the video on Monday with the Helix, the West Creek Helix? Let's take another look at the guitar here, guys. Probably most of you guys watched it. For whatever reason, the video has not gotten as many views as some of my other videos. I think it's still less than 3,000, which is a little on the low side for me, but that's okay. Anyway, yeah, it's got the telly body shape, but then obviously it's very much like a heavy metal like Telecaster, not your traditional telly. Of course, with the 24 frets and the 2 humbuckers and the whammy bridge and just reverse headstock, of course. Really nice connection joint right here, the way that's all like shaved off. And we got this cutaway right here. I forgot to kind of mention that in the video, but I mean, everybody could see it, I guess. So pretty cool. And I know I mentioned it in the video, like I said, this has the exact same neck and the tuners and the pickups and the bridge, everything the same as the Tiger Stripe guitar. And then when I was kind of looking at their guitars, and I think I realized, you know what? I think they're using the same neck on several guitars. Like they had one I think it's sold out now. It was like black with like the yellow stripes. It was kind of like an Eddie Van Halen looking one. I'm pretty sure that was all the same too. It was like, in fact, that's the same guitar as the Tiger Stripe one. It just has a different finish, same body shape and everything. So they're really using efficiency, like, you know, to make these guitars. It's like, instead of making a different neck every time and having to go through like the process to design a different neck or whatever, they just use the same exact neck on a bunch of guitars. Oh, who else does that? Like Fender, Jackson, all kinds of companies, right? Same necks, just a different color or different pickup configuration. As I mentioned in the video, the tuners are like not good. Boy, the tuners are like really sticky. That's probably my least favorite part about the guitar, is the tuners and the stupid 10 gauge strings, which are still on there. I mean, if I thought I was going to keep this and it was going to be like one of my main guitars or whatever, I would definitely change the tuners and for sure change the strings. But the neck's a little bit thick for my taste, so I'll be putting this one up for sale sooner rather than later, I'm pretty sure, guys. Yeah. But really good fretwork. Really good fretwork, like every West Creek. Every West Creek that's come through here and I've demoed and reviewed, really good like fretwork, so you can get low action without fret buzz. So good low action on this one for sure. Which is great, because nobody likes to do a fret level. That's a pain in the butt. Anyway, there we go. I'm sure that will not be my last West Creek guitar. Not my first, and probably not my last. So what else is going on in the guitar world this week, guys? There's a couple of like big announcements. Well, one of them, I don't know if it's been announced, but the news is out there. And that is that the guitar company G&L, which was founded by Leo Fender after he left Fender, or after he sold Fender, I guess, and he started G&L Guitars, they have gone out of business, apparently. Tooth, you got the Skull and Snake guitar. Okay, cool. That's the one I don't have yet. But anyway, G&L apparently is no more. I was trying to find some news on it, and the only thing I could really find was like a lot of rumors and stuff, and people saying that they closed down the factory yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or maybe it was the day before yesterday. Like, basically, they closed the doors, and everybody that worked there got laid off as of yesterday, or the day before yesterday. I don't know. So, like, this just happened. And then the rumor, which I looked for some kind of confirmation or something from Guitar World or something, but the rumor is that Fender bought G&L. Again, no confirmation that I saw of that yet. So if Fender bought G&L, then the question is, what will they do with it? Like, will they just shutter the brand? Like, did they buy it just to stamp out the, so they don't have that as competition? Or will they start making G&L branded guitars at the Fender factory, and then that will be another one of the brands under the umbrella of FMIC, which at this point is several brands already, right? FMIC is Fender, Squier, Jackson, Charvel, EVH, and I think Gretsch also. And I don't even know what else. There's probably some other stuff. I don't know. Well, obviously G&L was not like a huge competitor of Fender, right? I mean, when you compare G&L and Fender, of course Fender is huge and G&L is was a small company. But the question is, if Fender bought it, what are they going to do with it? What are they going to do with it? Because there's some logic to the idea that, okay, there's some guy out there, let's say it's me, and I've got a couple $1,000 and I want to buy a nice guitar, couple $1,000. I want to spend that. And I could be looking at a G&L and I could be looking at a Fender. They do have models that are kind of like similar in spec. Not that they look exactly the same, but if you buy the G&L, then you're not buying the Fender, right? Because that's quite a bit of money. So again, not that that's a lot of people, but I'm sure there were some people that like, well, if G&L didn't exist, they wouldn't even have that option. And it's like, okay, well, I guess I'm buying the Fender because there is no G&L. So I don't know. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see what happens. But I certainly understand that it's hard for them to compete in the marketplace. It's very competitive out there, and having your factory here in California and how expensive it is, and the guitars are not cheap, and it's hard to stay profitable, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so then the other news, that's the big news from just the past couple of days. The other big news this week is that Nuno Bettencourt from Extreme, you guys know Nuno Bettencourt, Nuno, who also played guitar with Rihanna, has started his own guitar company called, appropriately, Nuno. Nuno Guitars. And there's barely any information on that as well. He's got a website. If you go into Google and you type in Nuno Bettencourt Guitars, you'll find the website right away. It's very easy to find. There's hardly any information. It's got a picture of Nuno like on a ranch in front of a fence, and there's a couple of guitars sitting there, and it's got, I think it has the names of the 2 models that he's going to have available, or the 3 models or something like that. But they look pretty much exactly like the Washburn guitars. As far as the body shape, the headstock, the 2 humbuckers, the Floyd Rose, they look exactly like the Washburn guitars, the N4 or whatever the other ones are called. Maybe, the wood's different, and they've got like a stripe going across, like kind of diagonally. If you saw video of him playing at the Ozzy Osbourne concert not too long ago, he was playing one of the Nuno guitars there. So you've seen it already if you saw that. So what was I saying? Okay, so there's not much information yet about that other than he's starting this company. So when I saw that, I had all kinds of questions in my mind. Like, okay, where are these guitars going to be made? Do I just assume that they're USA made? Well, why would I assume that? Maybe they are, maybe they're not. You can still have like sort of high-end guitars could be made in Japan. They could be made in Indonesia. Who knows? They look very nice. The wood is like very nice wood. They look like very nice quality guitars. So the question of, okay, where are they being made? Who's making them? What are these guitars going to be priced at? Like, what are they going to sell for? That's another big question, Like, if they're made in the USA, they're not going to be cheap, obviously. Even if they're made in Japan, they wouldn't be cheap. Even, a lot of import guitars now are not inexpensive. And they don't look like cheap guitars, the ones that you can see in the pictures. They look like they're, good quality guitars. And then the other interesting thing, and then I don't know if this has been announced or if people are just jumping to this conclusion that he has left Washburn. Now you might assume like, yeah, he's got a website. He's got this guitar, and it says Nuno. So he's just not with Washburn anymore. But here's my question, guys. Has he said that he's not with Washburn anymore? Has Washburn said he's not with us anymore? Because when I looked at the Washburn website 2 days ago, he's all over the website. You go to where it says artist, he's the first one there, and it's got his picture. And you go to their artist series guitars, there's his guitars. It's still on their website. It is not out of the question that like he could still have his Washburn deal and at the same time be making these Nuno guitars. He could be doing both. I don't know that he is. Maybe he's not with Washburn anymore. I'm just saying it's possible because the one example that I have is George Lynch. George Lynch. You guys know I love George Lynch, Doc and Lynch Mob, whatever. Well, several years ago, George Lynch started his own company, Mr. Scary Guitars. You guys familiar with that? He makes guitars. Mr. Scary Guitars. That's his company. But guess what? He's still with ESP. ESP still has his like signature guitars that they make. He's still endorsed by ESP. And he still plays them live. You know, he plays a mixture of like, sometimes he plays a Mr. Scary guitar. Sometimes he's playing like the LTD. Sometimes it's an ESP. Sometimes he even plays a Les Paul or a Fender. He kind of just plays whatever. But the point is, guys, is he has his own company making Mr. Scary guitars, but he's still got the deal with ESP. But the difference here about the Nuno thing is that those Nuno guitars that you can see on the webpage for Nuno, they look exactly like the Washburn guitars. Same headstock, same body shape. Yeah, the wood color is different. Yeah, they got like a couple stripes, but it's essentially the same guitar. So it kind of doesn't make sense that like, well, he would start making the Nuno guitars and they're the same as the Washburn ones and still make the Washburn ones at the same time. If I had to guess, I would say he's done with Washburn. That's what I'm guessing, based on the fact that those Nuno guitars look like they're just like the Washburn guitars. If you look at George Lynch and the Mr. Scary stuff, he's not making the guitars that ESP makes. Like, he's not, actually, he doesn't even do production models. He just does like one-off custom models. And he makes all kinds of different custom stuff. But, you know, he's not making a ton of guitars because he's either doing the work himself or he has some guys like doing most of the work and maybe he does a little bit of work, but it's a very like a small operation. And again, I wonder like how big is the Nuno operation going to be? And if it's a big operation, that makes me think more like, well, he's not making them, obviously. It's at a factory somewhere in the US, overseas. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, when more information comes out, how that plays out. Marlon, so you saw an interview where he said he was leaving Washburn. Okay. All right, so now we're getting a little more info. That's good to know. Good to know. If he is leaving Washburn, I was thinking about this today. It had to be a case where it came down to like this, guys. Okay. Maybe Washburn, he was at the end of his contract, right? And Washburn's like, okay, if you want to re-up or you want to renew your contract, here are the terms. Maybe it was less money. Maybe it was not enough money. Maybe, you know, how many guitars does Washburn sell? I don't know. But maybe he thought, okay, if I stay with Washburn, I make this amount of money. If I start my Nuno guitars, my own company, and I'm the CEO, I'm the president, I'm the guy making most of the money, then I'll make this amount of money. He'll probably sell less guitars, right? I don't know. Who knows? But if you're getting a bigger piece of the pie, even if you sell less guitars, he could still potentially make a lot more money. So I hope it works out for him. I hope it works out for him. I've never really been tempted to like get one of those Nuno guitars because the ones I see, that they always have the Floyd Rose on it, and I don't know if they ever put out like a hardtail version or one with like a vintage style bridge or whatever. And I'm guessing, again, as nice as those guitars look on the website, I'm guessing they'll be rather expensive. So it makes me wonder, like, will there be like a cheaper import version? Because you would think he would want to, hit the different parts of the market and not just the guys who can spend $4,000 on a guitar. What about all the guys that can only spend, $200 or $300 on a guitar? Don't you want to sell guitars to those guys too? Kevin, yeah, thank you. Zach Wild. Kevin Canoe, guys, my old guitar teacher. The guy I gave the guitar to. He's here in the chat. What's up, Kevin? Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, Zach Wild has Wild guitars. And I'll bet that's has been very lucrative for him. I bet it was the same kind of thing. It was like, okay, I stay with Gibson. They pay me this much. I start my own guitar brand. The potential is to make a lot more. Right? Anyway, yeah, we got Six String Stinger in here. I know he's a big fan of those Wild guitars, and he's been getting the Firefly versions of those Wild guitars, right? Yeah, he loves those. They never really appeal to me because they look kind of big and bulky, and I'm not really a fan of like the big and bulky, and then like the Les Paul kind of thing, and I'm not really a Les Paul guy, as you guys know. So they never really appealed to me. And yes, Michael, Ola England has the Solar guitars. Yeah, that's his company, as we know. And then we can't forget Steve Brown from Trickster with the SBS guitars, and also Earl Slick guitars. Both of those, the Slick guitars and the SBS, those are both in conjunction with Guitar Fetish, and they're sold through the Guitar Fetish website. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna play you the classic bald shed. I almost said shedder, as if I need to shed any more hair, right? The classic bald shredder clip. This one is actually not that old. I wonder how many people remember this one. It's probably like not even a year old. Here we go. Alrighty, guys. Hopefully you remembered that one and enjoyed that one. Let me just say something to Pesky here. He says he hopes to play as well as a bald shredder someday, but I want to keep my hair. Well, sorry, buddy. Guess what? Sorry. If you want to be a true shredder, the hair's got to fall out. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. You don't want to be bald? Well, then you're never going to be a real shredder. Yeah. Can't have it both ways, dude. Sorry. Guitar Bob, do I still have to practice like I did when I was young? No, not really. No. I really don't do a whole lot of practice time, to be honest, guys. Not very much practice time because it's just not enough time in the day, not enough time in the week. Of course, I'm playing the guitar. I don't even play every day. Like, do I play the guitar 7 days a week? Nope. I'll go 2 or 3 days without even picking up a guitar. Just because life, work, full time, taking care of a couple of kids, everything that I got to handle in the house here, working on the YouTube videos, doing the editing and stuff. It's like when I'm doing that, I can't be playing guitar at the same time. And then other times, I just want to relax. I want to sit on the couch and chill and watch some Netflix. No, not Netflix and chill, just relaxing and watching stuff on Netflix, late in the evening before I go to bed. So anyway, yeah, that's the answer to that. So speaking of Netflix, I want to tell you what I watched on Netflix and what I'm currently watching. On the weekend, there was a new show called Guinness. Any of you guys watch it? Guinness. Yes, talking about Guinness, the beer. Yeah, so the show takes place in the 1800s, and it's set back in Ireland. That's where they started. That's where their first, brewery was. It was in Ireland. And so there's all kinds of, turmoil and political stuff going on, with the British. It's like a British colony. And then you got the Irish people there. And the father dies, like the senior Guinness, whatever. And then he leaves the brewery to 2 of the brothers. But then there's another brother and the sister. So it's a lot of intrigue and backstabbing and people cheating on spouses and stuff. And it's a good show. It's a good show. So I highly recommend it. Guinness on Netflix. Hey, we got RJ's Cave. What's up, RJ? Now, another show. I bet nobody's watching this. I can't find anybody that I ask. Nobody has watched this show. It's on Netflix also. It's called Alice in Borderland. Alice in Borderland. Anybody watching that show? They just came out with the 3rd season. If you like the Squid Game, you'll probably like Alice in Borderland because it's a very similar kind of idea and theme. I think I almost like it better than the Squid Game though. It's a Japanese show. Squid Game was a Korean show. Alice in Borderland is a Japanese show. So, recommendation, 2 thumbs up. Anyway, Hi Whitey Hill says, how do you come up with those melodies? I come up with the rhythm first, and I got the rhythm. Sometimes I hear the melody in my head. Other times it's me. I'm just playing around, and I just play the notes and just keep playing around until I come up with something that I like. So it's just kind of trial and error. Like I said, sometimes I hear it in my head, and I'll try to match what I hear in my head on the fretboard. Doesn't always work out that way. So, anyway. Okay, we got one person in here. Leblon712. You've seen Alice. It's Alice in Borderland, not Alice Borderland. And he says it's really cool. So there you go, guys. A thumb up from me and a thumb up from him. Check it out. It's very mysterious, especially the first season. The first season is what's going on here? How do they end up there? Who's controlling this? All this mystery and intrigue and questions and then they did a second season. I thought the second season was going to be the end of it. And then all of a sudden there's a third season because they kind of wrapped everything up. But then the third season just opens it all back up again. And it's like, oh, wow, cool. So I still have like 1 or 2 episodes left. So very exciting. Too freaky and scary? Come on. What are you, 10 years old? Come on. You can handle it. So anything else going on in the guitar world or the music world, guys? What else is happening? I mean, I think I already kind of went over the 2 big stories, which is G&L and Nuno guitars. I didn't see anything else like big news happening. I don't have any ridiculous offers of the week, and I think that's because right now it's a holiday in China. I think it's called National Day or National Week or something like that. And it's an 8-day holiday. It's an 8-day holiday. So they're all like on a holiday for the next, 6 days maybe. So I don't think I'm going to be getting any emails from any companies over the next week or so. Either ridiculous offers or legitimate offers. So. Coming up on Monday, guys. Coming up on Monday, it's going to be yet another Leo James guitar review video. Now, you would think that I have reviewed everything from Leo James, right? Well, guess what? I haven't. There's some guitars of theirs out there that I have yet to get my hands on and review. This one is one of maybe their most inexpensive one. I haven't even taken it out of the box yet, but it's like a Strat shape, and it's got 1 humbucker and 2 single coils, but there's no pick guard. So it's a Strat, humbucker, 2 single coils, no pick guard. And they come in different colors. There's several different colors. There's like purple, green, red, yellow. I can't even remember all the colors. But it's one of those like beginner's packs. So it's got the guitar, it's got the little amp and all the accessories and stuff. And it sells for like $119, I think, on Amazon. So we'll be checking that out on Monday. As far as anything else, Leo James, any news or anything, I don't have any news. And I kind of decided that I'm going to stop saying like, Leo said this guitar will be on Amazon in March, or it should be on Amazon by August, because every time he tells me that, and then I tell you guys, and then August comes and goes, and where are those guitars? I have no idea. They're not there. And especially, the one with the Floyd Rose. That's been since last January at the NAMM show when he had the green one with the Floyd Rose, right? That was supposed to be on Amazon already months ago. Where is it? I don't have a clue. So I am not going to announce like, hey, this one's coming up, this one's coming in. When they suddenly pop up on Amazon, that's when we'll know. He doesn't even tell me about half the stuff. He doesn't tell me about any of the stuff, actually. When the latest Hurricane with the reverse headstock and the whammy, that popped up on Amazon. I didn't even know they were making that. I was like, what's this? So, anyway. You bought 2 guitars from Wish for $60 a piece. Okay. There's a guitar on Temu. If you go on Temu and you search for electric guitars, you'll find all kinds of like the generic Strats. They look like the Glaries. Excuse me, guys. They've got the Glary headstock, but it doesn't say Glary on the headstock. It's just like blank. But it's a Glary because it's got that headstock. But it's a Strat, different colors. Pickguard, white pickguard, 3 single coil pickups. They're on there right now for like $53, $54. And I'm going to give you guys a little tip. I'm going to give you guys a little hint. And I almost pulled the trigger on one, but I'm like, why do I need another $50 Strat? I put it in my cart. But I did not buy it. And I left it there for a few days. And then a few days later, when I opened up the Temu app on my phone, and it pops up with this little message saying, you can buy it for $44. So anybody that wants to buy a generic Strat, you want to mod, you want something to mod, you want to put a different neck on it, you want to put different pickups, whatever. You just want the body, basically. Or even if you want to keep the neck, $44, guys. $44 for one of those cheap generic Strats on Temu. But like I said, you got to put it in your cart. Don't buy it. Leave it there. Check it the next day. Open it up and see if that message pops up. $44. If it doesn't, close the app. Check it again a day or two later. They've offered it to me like several times. I just haven't pulled the trigger because it's like, I really don't need that. You know, it's like, what do I need that for? I don't. I almost did it because I was like, $44. How can I not do that? How can I not? But anyway, Cucumber, what's up? Now, guys, I almost forgot to announce this. October special pricing, guys. I have never offered like a discount or a special pricing on my CDs and the autographed picture and the Bald Shredder guitar pick and the Metal Dude guitar pick. I have reduced the price on the 2 CD packages. I have reduced the price by $10, guys, on each one. $10 off. I'm going to put the link in the chat if I can find it. I'm going to put the link in the chat.
My name's...
Where's the chat? Give me the chat. So if you haven't gotten my CDs yet, and you're like, I'll wait for later, I'll do it later. Now's the time to do it because both packages, so you want the CDs only? $7.99 for 2 CDs plus shipping. You want it with the autograph picture and the 2 guitar picks, $11.99 plus shipping. Great deal. 50 songs, guys. 50 songs, both CDs together. 50. What a deal. I would be thrilled if several people bought these. Makes a great Christmas gift, right? It's not too early to plan for Christmas. I'll even autograph it to, you know, whoever you're going to give it to. Anyway. All right. Enough of the trying to get people to buy my stuff. Is there a Bald Shredder course? There is not, but if you're a member, there are some lesson videos in the members only videos. In fact, I really need to make another new members only lesson video. How about the Bullfighter guitars with the Floyd Rose? I don't know, never tried it. I've only done one Bullfighter guitar, and that's the one that had like the built-in effects and stuff. And I did a video on that. Yeah, nobody's bought that little Leo James amplifier yet, but somebody finally bought that Joyo acoustic guitar amplifier. Somebody just bought it a few days ago, and I just shipped it out yesterday. So what I've learned is like, I'll just put stuff on in my eBay store. Eventually, somebody's going to buy it. It might take months. It could take a year, but eventually it'll sell. So, you know, I'm not in like a big hurry, like, oh my gosh, I got to sell this. So somebody will buy it eventually. And if you do decide to get the CDs, guys, and if you want me to autograph the CD covers as well, you can just put a note with your order on eBay, or you can send me an email. And just say, hey, I ordered your CDs on eBay. This is my eBay name. Can you please autograph the CDs? And then I'd be happy to do that as well. Of course. Why not? Highway to Hell. Yes, thank you. All right. Yay. Very cool. You want my glasses? These glasses? My blue glasses? I think I bought these at Dollar Tree. Yeah, just go to the dollar store and look for them. These are just like $1.50 reading glasses. Cheap. Might be able to find them. Or maybe I bought them at the 99-cent store before they went out of business, of course. But I don't remember. Yeah, you don't even have a CD player anymore. You know, they're also very good. They make very good coasters. You just put your drink on top of it. It makes a great coaster. Or just like a decoration, you know, like stick it to the wall. You know. Or like Captain Craig, he's in there. Captain Craig, he's got him on his nightstand right next to like his pillow, like where he goes to bed. So he's got both my CDs laying there. And so when his head's down on the pillow, the last thing he sees before he closes his eyes and goes to sleep is me. Right, Craig? Right? No, I just made all that up. But who knows? It could be true, but I doubt it. Just kidding. Oh, the Tooth has his as decorations. You know what else? I just thought, guys, Christmas is coming up. Christmas is coming up. Hanging from the Christmas tree. What do you think, guys? Put a just, you know, I don't know if you want to poke a hole in it to put the little wire through there, or just tape it like to the corner and hang those on your Christmas tree. Nothing says Christmas like the bald shredder. Anyway. They're all in your truck. Yes, good. I'm glad you're actually listening to them. I'm happy when people buy them, even if you don't have a CD player and you just want to support me and you're like, okay, I can't really listen to him, but I'm going to support that bald dude. But I'm even happier when I hear that people are actually listening to them. So that's very cool too. How many guitars do I own? More than 30, less than 100. And that's about as close as I can get. Shredding around the Christmas tree. Yep, there you go, Brian. Exactly. Right? So you've got the eggnog. You've got the mistletoe. Well, I don't know. What else do you have at Christmas? You got the fireplace going, or the fake fireplace on the TV. You guys are doing Christmas carols. But instead of the traditional Christmas carols, you're singing Bald Shredder songs, right? Yes, they're instrumental, but you could just, you know, da 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 da. Yeah, it's very Christmassy. I do not have my albums on cassette tape, Johnny, if that's what you're asking. Of course, back in the day, I had tons of cassette tapes. I think I still have some cassettes in a box somewhere. But I do not have a tape player. I don't have a cassette player anymore. Or wait, you know, I might have some. I might have one somewhere. But I don't even know if it works. James says fruitcake. Are you calling me a fruitcake, James? Oh, no, you're talking about what do we have at Christmas time? A fruitcake. Yes, exactly. Does anybody actually like fruitcake? They always make fun of that, like in TV shows and movies, like, you know, somebody brings a fruitcake and people are like, oh, thanks. Does anybody actually eat fruitcake? I don't think I've ever had it. Doesn't look very appealing. Leblon says, does your wife like metal? Leblon, guess what? There's no wife. Why do you think I have all these guitars? Why do you think I'm able to do YouTube and all this stuff with guitars and music? Because there's no wife. Yeah, I see a lot of you guys, you know, you have a lot of guitars, you have several guitars. Let me just say, like, before I really started doing the YouTube thing, I don't think I even had 10. I think I had less than 10. But then started doing the YouTube channel, and that's when it just exploded, right? Because I have like new guitars coming in constantly, almost on a weekly basis. So yeah, it's pretty out of control. If I wasn't doing the YouTube thing, I would imagine I'd have less than 20. Yeah. Thank you, Guitar Bob. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So that pretty much wraps it up. So anybody that bought stuff on my eBay store, I really, really appreciate it. I'm going to put the link in the chat once again really quick, just in case you guys missed it and you want to go check it out. There it is before I sign off. So you can go check out the CDs and the guitar picks that are for sale and stuff. So I'll be back on Monday, guys. So new video on Monday once again. And as I already said, it's going to be the Leo James starter pack, the little Strat guitar with the little mini amp and all the accessory stuff. That'll be on Monday. Members, whoever's in there that's a member, searching for Tone, and anybody else, don't miss the live stream this coming Sunday, because I might have some special surprises for members on Sunday. Don't miss it. You'll be sorry if you do. Okay, guys. How do you like the Leo James amp? The Tooth. Which amp are you talking about? Pesky. Yes, I will have another Acklot guitar review coming up a week from Monday. So in a week and a half, it will be the Acklot Strat. That's the next one after Leo James. All right, guys, we got to go. I got to wrap it up. I'm going to do my countdown. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. And you guys enjoy the rest of your week. See you next time.